Hey, what's going on guys? Marvin here. Welcome back to another video. So this is going to be another Q&A video for you guys. I know you guys really like these because I just break down every question that you guys have. If you guys are unfamiliar with how this works, I do these once a month or sometimes twice a month. But if you guys have a question that needs a more in-depth answer, then you just leave it down below in the comment section and I will break that down for you guys and answer it in one of these videos. If it's just a yes or no question, then I just give you the yes or no answer, and then that's that. There's no more in-depth information. But if you guys do have those in-depth questions that you guys are really struggling with, then just leave them down below in the comment section and I will answer every single one of them. So let's get started. Actually, before we get started, you guys remember my crypto video where I turned $500 into $16,000, but that was years ago, right before it exploded the last time, kind of like it's exploding now. I have been getting bombarded with scam comments. So if you guys do watch that video or you guys see some scam comments talking about a certain person in the comment section, don't reply, don't ask for contact information. It's a complete scam, but these are hilarious. This lady, I think I am blessed. If not, I wouldn't have met someone who is as spectacular as expert Mr. So-and-so. I'm not gonna tell you who it is because I don't want you guys to contact him because it's a scam, guys. This lady replies, wow, am shocked someone mentioned and recommended expert so-and-so. I thought, am I the only one trading with him? Next person, different person. You don't need to be shocked because I'm also a huge beneficiary of expert so-and-so. Guys, this is who talks like this? Who would go in and create a thread like this? This is insane. I was cracking up the other day when I saw these. But if you guys see those kind of comments, don't reply, don't try to ask for contact information. You're gonna lose your money or they're gonna try to spam you nonstop. But these are hilarious. But back to the video. So the first question we got is from All Things Marketing. Says, I have a question about finding suppliers. After you find suppliers using your method, do you look on Amazon to see if they meet your criteria before calling? Well, it just depends. So let's say you find a supplier and they sell brands, right? We're looking for brands. Big brands or small brands or medium-sized brands, doesn't matter. But let's say you find a supplier with brands in the desired category that you're interested in, but you have no idea what those brands are. Are they big brands? Do they sell well? How much units are they selling on Amazon? In that scenario, yes. If I don't know the brands or I'm not familiar with them whatsoever, I go to Amazon and check to see if they are on Amazon. And if they are on Amazon, I check to see what some of their products are selling for. I'm not gonna go through every single one, but as long as I have a handful of products that are selling well, then we'll move forward with that supplier, contact them, and as long as everything passes with their website and everything like that we're looking for. But yes, if we're in that scenario, look on Amazon, make sure that they're products that we're even interested in, and if they are, contact them after that. All right, so next question is from Maria. Jeez, can't even say Maria anymore. I wonder if in the wholesale side of business, do you also run PPC, or what kind of marketing strategies do you usually use? Yes, you can absolutely use PPC. I typically only use PPC with higher profit products, slower moving. So if it's selling very well and it's a high profit product, nothing, I don't do anything. But if it's a slower mover and I know that going into it, but the profits are a lot higher, then I will do some PPC on that, knowing that beforehand, even before I purchase it, that I'm gonna run some PPC on the specific product because I have room to do so. I'm not breaking everything down into long tail keywords or anything like that, negative keywords or anything super advanced. I just follow a simple system, plug it in, super low cost, and make some sales on those slower moving products. This next question comes from Bielka. Any recommendations on choosing a prep center? Just make sure you vet them out first. Don't sign up with the first prep center that you run into. And also you want to look at their location. If your main supplier, let's say you have a handful of main suppliers, but they're all on the West Coast, don't have an East Coast prep center. Vice versa, if all your main suppliers are on the East Coast, don't have a prep center in the West Coast, okay? So make sure it makes sense location-wise. And you also want to vet them out. How much do they cost per unit? What are the discounts like? What are their bulk discounts like? Is there opportunities to permanently lower your cost if you send enough units in? You know, different questions just to find out, just to make sure that you're vetting them out to make sure it's somebody you want to work with. If their costs are through the roof and they offer no volume discounts, chances are you're not going to want to be working with that prep center. And there are tons of different prep centers that you guys can look for and vet out. All right, so this next question is from Matej. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but what is the initial budget for wholesale? And I told them $2,000. You guys know I recommend $2,000 to get yourself started, but you can start with less. So I told them I have students that have started with $500, which is true. It just takes you longer to scale. Been very clear about that. $2,000 is ideal. More is actually ideal, but $2,000 is a great starting point. That's what I started with. But yes, you can start with less because there's a lot of suppliers that don't have minimum order quantities, and you guys can work with them and grow that capital over time. It's just gonna take you a little bit longer because you are starting with less. So then he replies with, how can a student start with $500 for a wholesale order when it's publicly known information that you need sometimes $1,500 minimum order? So I'm not sure what you mean. So there are suppliers that will have minimum order quantities. Some suppliers have $250 minimum order quantities or minimum order amounts. They also have $1,000, $1,500. Some have much, much larger, but a lot of them don't have any. And a lot of them you'll be able to meet even if they do. But just because, you know there's those suppliers out there that have those minimum order quantities that you may not meet shouldn't stop you from starting, because then you'll never start, right? You're gonna put it off for a year and then you're never gonna begin. But yeah, if you're gonna start with $500, start with $500. Just find some suppliers that don't have any minimum order quantities and keep flipping that money over and over and over. If you are starting with $500, I will say, and this goes out for everybody, be a little bit more picky with what you're buying. So if you have a larger amount of capital, you can get away with a lot more. You can only look for fast movers or slow movers that have a balance of both. But if you're starting with a smaller amount of capital, you really want to decide, do I want a lower margin but flip that product over and over and over again? Or do I want to have a larger margin and it's okay if I sell it at a slower pace, and it's going to take me a little longer to get that money back? So you have to make that decision, but I highly recommend that you're more picky when you start with less. All right, next question. Hi Marvin, do you order the same products over and over when you run out of stock, or move on to the next product, whatever sells? So this is a great question. Ideally, you have multiple replans in your inventory, right? For me, I have products that I've sold for 6 months. I have product that I sold for a year plus, still restocking constantly. But I also have products that sell for 2 weeks. I also have products that sell for a month. I have products that sell for 2 months. You know, it really varies on the product. If I have a replenishable product, I will keep that replenishable product as long as I possibly can, as long as it's profitable. But if it's an opportunity buy, or maybe it's a one-time thing that the supplier has, or they have a limited amount of stock and they're not restocking, then it will vary how much I'm buying. But you definitely want to be on the lookout for those replenishable products, because those are your consistent products that you're selling month in and month out, and you know you're going to sell them, you know exactly how much you're going to sell, and you know what kind of profit they're bringing in. But yeah, it's going to be all over the place. Sometimes you'll sell them for 6 months, sometimes you'll sell them for 1 week. It just really depends on what kind of products you have access to. All right, next question is from Sarab. How to get initial customer without reviews. So this is something that I think a lot of people overthink, and it revolves around getting reviews and what kind of role that plays within the buy box. As long as you're meeting the big components of the buy box, you'll be just fine even if you're brand new with no reviews, okay? I'm gonna make a video that goes over what goes into the buy box, and reviews is an important factor, but it's not the most important factor. It's not even within the top 4 most important factors that go into the buy box. It is important, but you're gonna be making just as many sales as long as you are meeting the requirements of the buy box, FBA, landed cost, amongst a couple of things. But the most important things when it comes to that buy box, you're gonna be just fine even without reviews, okay? Even if it's your very first day selling the product, as long as you did, your product research properly, you'll be just fine, okay? So don't overthink the reviews, but if you do wanna get reviews, you can focus on these faster moving products. It's gonna cost you no money. If you're already buying inventory, buy faster moving products, and the faster it sells, the more reviews people are going to be leaving you, okay? So that's one quick tip. Actually, one of my students gave that in a video as well, and she sells over $157,000 a month, so she kind of knows what she's talking about as well. So sell some fast movers. It's gonna cost you no money, and you'll be getting those reviews in no time. But it's not that big of a deal. Don't overthink it. You're gonna be making just as many sales, even if you're brand new, as long as you're doing proper product research. All right, so next question is, my product selection is highly relied on the profit. In terms of profit calculation, which one do you think is more accurate, RevSeller or Fulfillment by Amazon Revenue Calculator? I've signed up for the trial version of RevSeller, found out the result is so different with Amazon Revenue Calculator. I use RevSeller, and before I started using RevSeller, I was using AMZ Scout as far as their calculator goes. Way off. AMZ Scout was way off. Sometimes it would say you were $10 in profit when you're actually losing money. And then I asked my group, my private student group, and they were having the same issues as well. So we completely ditched AMZ Scout and we went over to RevSeller. Now RevSeller, I have had great success with RevSeller. They're pretty accurate. They're actually very accurate. I've compared them to my actual Amazon account. So if you go to your Amazon account, you can see the exact breakdown from the Amazon Seller Central itself and see how much money you're making on each product. And RevSeller was right there with so many products. So that's why I decided to go with RevSeller. But as far as which one's gonna be the most accurate, the Amazon Revenue Calculator is gonna be the most accurate because it's provided by Amazon, integrated with Amazon directly. So that's gonna be your best bet. It's just not the most efficient tool just because you have to go to a different page, plug everything in, opposed to having it right on your listing like RevSeller does. But I haven't had any issues with RevSeller whatsoever. Let me know down below in the comment section if you guys are using RevSeller and if you guys have had any sort of mismatching information with profit loss compared to your Amazon account. All right guys, but if you have any more questions, then leave them down below in the comment section. I will answer every single one of the questions that you guys have. And if there are questions that require a more in-depth answer, then I will put them into next month's Q&A and answer them all for you guys in this type of format. Now, if you guys are interested in Amazon Wholesale and navigating the whole Amazon Wholesale game, then I want you guys to watch the video on the screen where I break Amazon Wholesale down for you guys step by step so you guys can get started as soon as possible. But other than that, don't forget to subscribe, turn your post notifications on because Amazon doesn't always pop these videos up and you guys don't want to miss any videos that I'm posting, hopefully. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Don't forget to like the video. You're already at the end of the video, so just press that like button for me. It's all I ask, and I will see you guys in that next video.